Yo, what is going on, Cover One crew? Welcome back to the show. Happy Monday to all, man. We got doubleheader Monday Night Football. Before we get started into that conversation, let's talk a little fantasy football keeper trade. Because, we got a lot of players right now. Week number 3, I told y'all we're going to have to reevaluate certain players as the season does go on because they're underperforming. What do we do with these players? I told y'all, if you're 0-2 and you're heading into this Monday Night Football contest, you're staring down 0-3. It's never done, and we can fix this problem. But we got to understand the players that we got to keep or trade because their values just aren't returning what we thought they would. First, Justin Fields. Is he an overall problem right now? Yes. Is the Chicago Bears team a problem right now? Abso-freaking-lutely, man. ADP-wise, we were pegging Justin Fields. Consensus-wise on the expert consensus was quarterback 7. He is right now ranking as the 16th best quarterback, which is ROI, return on investment, is a -9 for y'all. It is not good news, man. 43 points right now. The Bears offense looks in disarray. It does not look good. Fields still not reading the field properly. Coaching staff calling garbage plays. Wide receivers are not separating. It's all bad news big time. What do we do with Justin Fields? If you have better options, you're likely going to the waiver wire for better matchup play anyway. So why aren't we discussing trading Justin Fields? Because I think at least you could bring back some players that with other quarterback-hungry teams that would at least still take the opportunity to say perhaps Justin Fields' game will turn it around. Right now, you will not get the good return you want via trade, but this is definitely something we got to explore. Why would we keep a guy like Justin Fields on our bench at this point? We have to understand making our team better in the aggregate now, playing the matchups with quarterbacks and seeing if a quarterback-hungry team in your league requires when you could still get some decent return for a Justin Fields. Naji Harris, next one. This guy has been killing us, man, okay? And this is my biggest miss going to the offseason. I thought Naji at least would turn into, the Le'Veon Bell situation like his rookie season, catching the ball, 74 times that year. He's got 3 receptions on the season, y'all. Matt Canada, what are you doing? I don't understand. Did he forget how to catch the damn ball? I understand he looks like he's got 2 trailers attached to his butt, but it just doesn't look good for Naji Harris. What are we going to get in return for a Naji if we do put him on the trade block? Not a whole heck of a lot. You're likely going to have to, package deal with other players to try to recoup some value because right now the ROI for a Naji Harris is at -37. This is not good for value. So trading Naji is definitely on the radar, but you're going to have to get very creative, package him with a wide receiver, maybe, running back needy team still could overpay for a Naji. You get him off your roster. Let him be somebody else's problem because we don't want it. So I'm suggesting we trade Naji Harris. Going to be hard. You're going to have to make sure that you package something, but I got to get Naji off my roster at this point. It just does not look good, even though the Steelers offense looked a lot better this past week. Either you keep Naji on your bench. Hopefully you have better options, but I'm looking to shop his services. Calvin Ridley, next one on the board. It is a very difficult one for Calvin Ridley, and these Jaguars have not looked good these past 2 games. Trevor Lawrence looks lost. This offense is not going to the well, and going back to Calvin Ridley, they do not look good. They look out of sync at this point. Wide receiver 15 was the ADP consensus. His rank is 37. ROI -22 for Calvin Ridley. It will come eventually, and I do still have faith in this Jacksonville Jaguars squad right now, so you're just going to have to, eat what they're giving you right now. As much as it sucks, it's humble pie right now for these Jaguars. Does not look good. 29 points on the season for Calvin Ridley. You got to believe they're going to turn this around. They, this past game versus these Texans, I truly thought that, with all the injuries the Texans had, the Jaguars were going to be able to run up this score. Did not happen, did not come to fruition, did not come to pass, but I'm still keeping a Calvin Ridley because I do believe the Jaguars will eventually figure this whole thing out and turn it around this year, just like they did this past season 1 year ago. Calvin Ridley's still far too talented for me to suggest trading because you're not going to get even close to the value to return on investment that you put in on this man. Lamar Jackson and these Baltimore Ravens losing to the Indianapolis Colts. Absolutely dreadful. And this offense, you know what, overall has not looked great. Under this new offensive coordinator from the Georgia Bulldogs, you think at some point they would start to turn the corner as well. Yes, there were some missed calls in that contest. Lamar, on the other hand, has not looked terrible. His ROI right now is only at a -2. He was quarterback 4. He ranks right now as the quarterback 6. So he at least is still giving you the good point productivity that we're hoping for from Lamar Jackson. You're just wishing that the rest of this offense would follow suit and keep going. Lamar continues to be the rushing quarterback that we do rely upon. So for me at this point, almost 60 fantasy points, we're keeping a Lamar Jackson because, I mean, right now it's Justin Fields or is it Lamar Jackson? I think we're all in the same boat to suggest that we're keeping a Lamar Jackson at this point. They will figure it out eventually. Week 6, week 7, you got to think it's going to start to turn the corner, and, you know, this offense should be a little bit more explosive than what we're seeing right now. Ramondre Stevenson! This is a tough one for me because running back 11, his rank right now is 14, so only -3 on the ROI. We thought he would be in the top 10s at this point. You know, the way the New England Patriots offense could be utilizing him. Offensive line, he's not getting a lot of push. He's not getting a lot of, you know, yards per average. 2.9 for Ramondre Stevenson right now. Not good on the yards per carry, but at least he is saving his days somewhat with a PPR upside. Only 10 receptions right now. We want to see that uplifted a little bit more, but this New England Patriots team is better than I expected them to be, at least in that respect that they can move the ball, and Ramondre's role still continues to be good. Yes, he was spelled out with Zeke Elliott this past week because he just couldn't find any traction. This could be a sign of things to come, so keep tabs on Ramondre for potential trading once he does pop off. There is potential there, but I still believe that Ramondre is a top 10 fantasy running back this season with these New England Patriots. So I'm saying keep my guy Ramondre Stevenson because we need running backs, and they're a definite hot commodity in fantasy football. Drake London! I told y'all, man, this entire offseason, everybody's all bullish on a Drake London because they thought he was going to take that next step in this progression. It's got nothing to do with Drake London's skill set. It's got everything to do with how this offense is run and built with a guy like Desmond Ridder. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and bash Desmond Ridder saying he's a terrible quarterback, but it is shaping up. You know, we'll give the guy a little bit more time, but it is shaping up to look like he could be the perennial 10-year backup, very good quality quarterback that's a backup in this league for a long stretch of time. Right now, the Atlanta Falcons are figuring out their identity, and they are running the football more than they are passing. Desmond Ridder is not feeding Kyle Pitts and a Drake London. You put a guy like Caleb Williams on this offense, and then we would see some fireworks with this talent right now. 19 points for a Drake London. His ROI right now is a -32. This is not good. Wide receiver 24 was way too high for me. All y'all that pushed it in the offseason, all the analysts that pushed it, I was not in agreement whatsoever. His current rank is 56. It is not looking good. Only 9 receptions on the season. Just like you were talking, Naji, you're going to have to package a deal with Drake London to try to recoup some of this value and get some more points on your fantasy team right now. Trade a Drake London is definitely on the horizon. Get him off your roster because I don't foresee this changing much this season with a Desmond Ridder unless he magically becomes another coming of Patrick Mahomes. We just don't see very consistent productivity coming from a Drake London this season. Darren Waller, this one hurts so bad because I was pushing this during the preseason after we got at least some wind of how this was going to operate. He was being force-fed the ball in New York during preseason and training camp. We thought this was going to continue. It is not, man. Waller has been dropping passes. Daniel Jones, Daniel Pennies, and this offense looks like hot garbage. And what else can we say and suggest about a Darren Waller? Yes, he is currently the tight end 8, but in tight end fantasy football numbers, you really have to roll into the end zone, 4 times, 5 times, and you can finish as a top 10 fantasy football tight end. Yes, it is very difficult to find these guys on the, waiver wire, anywhere to get a valid, point productivity from your tight end spot. But 19.2 points and how this offense does look right now, my suggestion is we wait for Darren Waller to have that big pop-off game, and then we trade Darren Waller to someone else. Try to get somebody like a Pat Freiermuth, who has been recently dropped in a lot of leagues on the waiver wire. I do like the TD upside for the Muth over Waller at this point. Maybe the Giants Lions do turn it around, but we also have to be concerned with Darren Waller's injury history, that eventually the fact that he's dropping passes, it's not in his, breadbasket from Daniel Jones, Daniel Pennies, and it's just not good news right now for how these New York Giants, continue to play football. ROI is only a -3 based on where his ADP was to where his rank is today. I'm still looking to shop a Darren Waller once he has that big boom game, because then you can recoup all that value and then some, potentially with running backs and wide receivers coming back to your club. Jamir Gibbs right now, okay, everybody was talking up Jamir Gibbs, so was I. Do love the skill set. This man is an electric playmaker waiting to come out. Right now, he still has the shackles on him in this Detroit Lions offense. Unleash the man, Coach Campbell. What are you waiting for? This man is ready. Give him more touches. Give him more carries. Even with a David Montgomery out this past week, he still was not utilized the way I thought he should have been. 24.8 points right now, ranks as a 26th running back, and the ROI for a Gibbs right now is a -13. A lot of players are failing us right now when it comes to value to return on investment, and it is no bueno, no good. Right now for Jamir Gibbs, the potential still is rising. Once they get J-Mo back from the suspension, Jamison Williams, we should see this offense take yet another leap. Jared Goff is able to support all these weapons on the field. This past week was Sam Laporta Day. Like I told y'all in Start Sit on that video on Saturday, it was Sam Laporta Day in a very big way. Jamir Gibbs, his time will definitely come as well. You're keeping this man because PPR upside is definitely here. The role continuously, to expand should also be here for a Jamir Gibbs. You're definitely keeping him. Do not even look for it unless someone gives you the absolute, king's ransom return. You're keeping Jamir Gibbs at this one, man. Jahan Dotson, last one on my board. This one hurts, man, because I've been a big supporter of what the Washington Commanders, the Commies, have been doing this offseason. Sam Howell is my guy. I told y'all as well on Start Sit that Sam Howell would be humbled by the Buffalo Bills defense, and that's exactly what happened. You had to be cautious. They will be very good in matchup play versus some of the best teams in the NFL. They will struggle because you have to believe Sam Howell still is a rookie quarterback. He's only played, 4 games in the NFL? Give the man a break. He's still learning on the job, but doing it very well. My biggest problem here is Jahan Dotson's value when we were talking pre-draft was ADP 36 consensus. That was unbelievable value for a guy who can pop off, score touchdowns, give you PPR upside. Unfortunately, he's just not in the makeup of this offense right now to get target share. 10 receptions on the season for under 100 yards in 3 games is not good enough. Right now, the recommendation obviously is to trade a Jahan Dotson, but there is basically no takers that will give you a fair value in return. Much like a Drake London, you would have to package a Jahan Dotson and, kind of sell it to the manager and say he will eventually pop off, or you place him on your bench and wait and see. Hopefully you can still stash him there without having to cut his services. Cutting a Jahan Dotson, I do not recommend because I do still believe they will figure this out and Jahan will be a bigger part of this offense. Right now, his ROI, even at ADP 36, is a -40. It is not good. Rank 76 right now for a wide receiver for Jahan Dotson. It is not good news. It is not panning out right now. And if you can package somebody with a Jahan Dotson to get better return, absolutely do it. Otherwise, I still would suggest keeping him on the bench for another 2 weeks to wait and see how this does play out. But these are a lot of players right now that are underperforming for us. And what do we do with them? We need the wins. Trying to get y'all there. I got waiver wire coming for you tomorrow, but nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts. You got any trade packages you want to discuss? Throw them in the comments. I'll definitely give you my opinion on the matter, but we'll see you next time. I am out.